Fast 10. Fast and Furious 10 is tracking to open huge. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including Loki Season 2 and Echo series debut dates, release dates. We got some trailers out for Five Nights at Freddy's, Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning trailer. Did you go out and see it? It was awesome, man. We did trailer reactions for it. It's up on the channel right now. Johnny Depp debuts at Cannes. We'll be taking a look at that. But we start off today's show by talking about Fast and Furious 10 and its tracking numbers. It's tracking to open up fairly huge, guys. Fast 10 to run circles around the world with near 300 million plus opening. Box office preview. Yes. Is it going to be a good return to form for the Fast 10 franchise? Or the Fast and Furious franchise with Fast 10? Yes. Let's see. It's got a big budget. We know that. We know that Fast 10 has got like one of the highest budgets, if not the highest production budget of all time, coming in at 340 million. Whew. And that's probably that's low. That's probably on the lower side of what they're trying to report. It's probably around 400 million, realistically, and that's not including marketing. That's not going to be including what the percentages of what the theater hall takes. That's just for the base production, man. And well, if it's tracking for a $300 million opening, that's good news, right? Well, that means it's going to be on pace to be the second film of 2023 to be $1 billion film. And hopefully there's going to be some positive word of mouth for this movie, because it's going to need it. It's going to need it, because I'll tell you this, people can't be coming out of Fast 10 in their initial reactions and telling you that, well, it's sort of like episode 5 and 6, but it's still a little bit like episode 9. It's still like Fast 9 with the over-the-top kind of stuff. And then people say, but James, that's what the Fast and Furious movies are now. It's like, well, not guys, for crying out loud here. But overall, I think the word of mouth has been positive. So what's it tracking? Where are these numbers coming from to that it's going to make 300 million? They're just basing this off of other openings. Fast 9, of course, opened up during the pandemic, so it did underperform quite a bit, actually. Fast 9 did 235 million domestically, right? So yeah, Fast and Furious franchise is something that does better overseas than it does in the domestic market. So I expect maybe a little bit of a level out. It needs to be leveled out because the trajectory for it has been in the domestic box office for Fast and the Furious movies have been down. It's been going downwards. But internationally, the international market still loves Fast and the Furious, and $300 million opening has been good. It is the day before the release. I'm seeing it tomorrow at 4 p.m. So let's see. The reviews are starting to trickle in. And the word of mouth has to be good. It has to be good. So over on the Rotten Tomatoes, oh, shit, 57%. That's by the critics. Now, this may be a situation just like the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, or, where it's like the critics are lower, but the audience is going to be like in the 90s, right? It could be one of those situations. Hopefully it is. 57% as of 1 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon for Fast 10. Let me just refresh the page to see if any more reviews have come in. No. Let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews. This is a movie where really the critics' reviews don't have that much of an impact. Well, let's take a look at some of the snapshots. Associated Press says, someone who liked it, with a foot in the past, one in the future, and one on the gas, Fast 10 is pure popcorn lunacy. Uh-oh. Now, that's the word that's the connotation that we need to stray from, lunacy. Was that too many feet? Oh, excuse us. You wanted logic? No, and they liked it. So again, there's going to be some outlandish stunts, and that's fine, but it just can't be cartoony. That's the way I feel about it. I'm seeing it tomorrow at 4 p.m. So stay tuned to the channel for my straight out of the theater reaction. The most ridiculous Fast and Furious film. Yeah. Oh God. And that's a good one. That's somebody who came out and said, I like this film, but it's the most ridiculous Fast and Furious film. And remember what I just said. Fast 10 has to be one of those movies where people come out on a consensus and say, well, they've changed direction from number 9. It's not too outlandish anymore. It can't be doing that. So, gives me pause, man. Momoa, he's the bad guy. He's just going to be Jason Momoa, pretty much. I don't expect him to be like a higher elevated villain with any kind of nuance, but they could surprise me. Let's take a look at some of the bad reviews. Fast X suffers from the same condition as the latter-day MCU movies, where it's so laden with internal mythology that it feels more like homework than popcorn entertainment. Oh, well, we did hear those reports at the earlier in the week where Vin Diesel's like, well, it was only going to be Fast 10 and 11 as our final films, but now it's going to be a trilogy. And we got to set up Fast 10 to be the first installment in this trilogy. And if somebody's echoing the statement there that that's what the MCU has been doing, well, yes, that's what the MCU has been doing. And they've been running and spinning their tires in the mud. Guys, seriously, if it doesn't make that $300 million opening that they're projecting, if it doesn't make the moolah, the money, there's not going to be a trilogy. There's just not. They will wrap it up with the 11th film, and that's it. And that's what they should do. Don't overextend this, man. Yes, it's the way that you've made money, but Vin Diesel, you've got enough money, man. You don't need to make movies like this anymore. You can just retire and live on beaches for the rest of your life reading Shakespeare. But for some reason, he's caught up on this as his legacy. And it's kind of like you're going to burn your legacy to the ground trying to milk it for everything that it's worth. And it's not worth it. Sometimes you just got to go out on top. You just got to go out on top, right? That's just my warnings from this. Because as I said, the budget for this is really high, $340 million. I'll tell you this. I said that the audience score is probably going to be in the 90s, but if it comes out and it's in the lower 80s, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. And I don't know why the studios keep on giving that kind of a grotesque budget. They can't. The studios have to stop this. They've got to stop making these kinds of expenditures to make these movies. They got to stop. And what is that going to all entail? It means you got to stop paying these astronomical prices for contracts. And why this is so expensive is because the contracts that were started back with the renegotiations with number 5, every time they make a sequel to it, it grows. So let's say that Fast 10 was the first movie for this cast and crew, the budget would be much smaller. But because it's a sequel, everybody gets paid more, right? And then it just comes down to what, a lot of TV shows have found is that we're making as much money just showing repeats than we are spending to make new series, new seasons. So why don't we just cut it off here and just show reruns instead of paying the actors involved the huge money for another season that just doesn't bring in the cheddar, right? I don't know. Those are the warnings, the forecast warnings. Guys, $300 million opening. On the surface, seems like it's going to be okay, but with these kinds of ratings, it gives me pause. And while I'm seeing it tomorrow at 4 p.m., I'll tell you this bluntly, and I don't care if you think that this makes me biased. I'm not all excited for it. I'm kind of like, please be good, please be good, please be good. That's how I feel about the Fast and Furious franchise. It's kind of like, please be good, please be good, please be good. It's not kind of like watching the Mission Impossible trailer and going, yeah, now that's something I want to check out. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it pans out. Watch tomorrow for a lot of other people's reactions, like mine. My straight out of the theater reaction will be up around 7 p.m.-ish tomorrow, my time, so pay attention for that. Cannes is opening this week, and Johnny Depp was there with his new film Jean du Barry, and he was quoted saying that he doesn't feel much further need for Hollywood. That people were asking him about, like, because of the fallout with his ugly and nasty divorce with Amber Heard. As well, is it do you feel like you've been boycotted and stuff? And I don't know what the heck he's got on his thumb there. What the heck is that? Is that a roach clip? We know that his thumb got cut or something, right? She tried to cut it off or something. Oh, it's so weird. So the quotes. He's there for a film called Jean du Barry. It's a French film. He speaks French in that. Basically, he's come down to the understanding that he has no place for. He just doesn't feel like he needs to appeal for Hollywood. Exactly. This is what Vin Diesel doesn't seem to understand either. Is what Johnny seems to understand. He doesn't. He's done the big movies. He's done the big franchises. He's made his money, so he can go out and do art form and creations that he wants to do, right? Like a French-speaking film that he appears in. So there you go. And let's read some of the quotes that came out from this. But the inside press was predictably more confrontational. Depp was asked whether he still feels boycotted by Hollywood. And his response was, "Did I feel boycotted by Hollywood? Well, you'd have to not have a pulse to feel at that point like this was all just a weird joke." A weird joke. Of course, when you're asked to resign from a film, you're doing because of something that's merely a bunch of vowels and consonants floating in the air. He trailed off, talking about his dismissal from Fantastic Beasts, because he was removed from that, right? Do I feel boycotted now? No, not at all. But I don't feel boycotted because I don't think about Hollywood. I don't think much further need for Hollywood. I don't know about you. So he's just kind of like, he doesn't have to play the Hollywood game anymore. We know that he's a talented actor. He can appear in these smaller side films that he just wants to do. Again, he's somebody that doesn't need to act or work anymore for the money. He's doing it because that's what he likes to do, right? And I'm glad that he's pushing through it. I really am. But there's still going to be people out there that'll be kind of like, oh, I don't believe him. I don't believe that he should have won that case and stuff like that. I'm not here for that kind of stuff, right? He added, quote, "It's a very strange, funny time when everyone would love to be themselves, but they can't because they must fall in line with the person in front of them. If you want to follow that line, be my guest. I'll be on the other side." Well, you got to take that with what it is. It's kind of like, that's a bit of a word salad wraparound for code for something, right? So this article is up on THR right now. It just goes into his other projects coming up. He is going to be in other stuff, guys. He is making a comeback, but he doesn't feel boycotted because he just doesn't feel like he doesn't need to play the Hollywood game anymore. He is of the elite, and I kind of side with Johnny, and I'm not the only one, because when his film debuted there, Johnny got like a 7-minute standing ovation for it, where he plays like the King of France, King Louis the 16th or 15th or something, right? Who had the Mistress Jean du Barry. If you see the trailers for it, it looks like it's a fairly well done production. I want to check it out. He does speak French though, so it's a movie where you have to read subtitles or wait for the dubbed version. But standing ovation. That's good. 7-minute. And that's the kind of thing that happens at Cannes anyway. Some people will try to say, well, but that happens all the time, so it's not a big deal. Well, it kind of is, because for me it is, because I am a fan of Johnny Depp as an artist. We share something in common, that we both play the guitar. So, he's had his troubles in the headlines. I do think that he probably indulges in a few vices that are probably not as healthy as it should be. But the audience at Cannes screaming Johnny's name when he arrived is music to my ears, somebody said. So he's going to have the fans regardless, right? So not everybody thinks that what has happened is a bad thing, and including him, right? He's trying to turn it around and look at it in a way of like, well, this is lemons, but I'm going to look at it as lemonade. Yeah. And that's a very positive outlook to have on life. Byford to hop in the live chat says, hey, those are eyeglasses. Those are eyeglasses. In his hand. Is that what you're referring to? Eyeglasses. Oh, okay. Oh no, it's just yeah, you're right. It's the angle. Okay, so I see. It's kind of like this. If it was bent down like this, right? Kind of like that. It's just the angle. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's just I just see these two angles here, and it's like, is that a clip of something? But now, yeah, I can see the nose pieces here. Okay, those must be his shades. So, thank you for bringing that to my attention, Bifer. What do you think about those headlines? Oh, Johnny Depp. Cool, man. All right, guys. Today we did a show earlier today where I rounded up all of these stories, and I think it's going to be part of a new series. I was thinking about this while I had my breakfast. I want to be able to inspire other people to do YouTube videos as well, and how I do the show, and how I evolve the show too, right? So I did a quick episode 1 of how to put the show together and stuff. And I thought it went okay. Of course, it could have gone better if I knew that I was making it for that intent. But the point is that, hey, your first videos are not going to be the greatest, and that one isn't the greatest. But as I refine that process, it's going to become like a streamlined machine that'll be just like, wow, I like watching you put together the show as well as doing the main show that we are doing now. There are all my other social media handles that you guys can follow us on. You can see some behind the scenes stuff. What else can you find here on the channel Mirror Domains? Well, we do full movie watch alongs for things like The Mother. That's all on Netflix right now. Big ratings for that. I had lots of fun with that. Jennifer Lopez taking out some assassins. Yeah, really cool, man. We did a trailer reaction for Extraction 2. We did a trailer reaction for Mission Impossible, A Haunted Mansion, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's all up on the channel right now. We do movie stories like this that, that gets chopped out later on and stuff like that. We watch series like The Mandalorian and Survivor. We do a horror weekly on Fridays. Lots of cool things here on Mirror Domains. So come join us and join us in the live chats, because we do have a good community of people that come in and voice their opinions for sure. Earlier today, very early in the morning, like just before 9 o'clock, the new trailer for Mission Impossible 7 dropped, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, July 12th is when this gets released, and it was a good trailer. It was a really good trailer. Let's just go over to some of the snapshots of the trailer. I'm not going to watch it here again because I already watched it. If you want to see my reaction, it's up on the channel right now. Cool, man. I love the cinematography in this. I love the feeling of the intrigue of like the espionage angle to this. Kind of like they're hunting him. We get some throwbacks to like the first movie with some older cast coming back in this. We know that there's going to be some over-the-top action in this, right? That's going to be well done, well-executed action, unlike Fast and the Furious franchise where it's comic booky. This is more kind of like, oh, wow, right? There's Rebecca Ferguson. I don't know why she's got an eye patch on here. I'm hoping it's just because that's going to help her use the gun, the sniping thing there, right? I'm hoping it's just for that. I hope she doesn't get hurt in this. Looks like we got an underwater submarine sequence in here. And the cast looks great. That's Palm Clementi up there. Plays Mantis. She's going to be one of the bad guys in this, or one of the bad guys' henchmen. We got our token Tom Cruise running. And you know Tom Cruise is the kind of guy that says, hey, we're not going to CGI this with like a fake background. This is an actual camera strapped to this car with him driving and doing the stunt, because you know that that's just the top-notch quality that he requires, and that's Haley Atwell, who joins the cast this time around, who I'm really looking forward to, Agent Carter, right? So really cool stuff. I'm getting hyped for this movie. This one is what and there's Palm. I don't know why she's got kind of like the Harley Quinn kind of style makeup on. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of an explanation to that, but they do throw down there. You see that clip later on where they're fighting in this alley. So she's going to be one of the bad guys in this. I like the team aspect. Yeah, he's like, if you come after any of us, then I'm going to come after you, kind of thing. I dug that quote. That was cool. And then, of course, then this is not going to be the big stunt of the movie. This is probably going to be like the opening sequence, probably. We've seen this stuff. We've seen them build, like, this part of him riding up to the hill. I think this must be CGI rendered, because it's a big ramp. He just jumps off a big ramp, but for movie purposes, it still looks great, because he did ride. He did do this jump, and you know that's Tom Cruise doing that. It's not a stuntman; it's Tom Cruise, which just helps take it to that extra level. And yeah, man, this looks grand. It looks epic, and yeah, this floating sequence here of the train where it falls off the bridge and it gets slammed around. Yeah, see, there's Rebecca Ferguson, and she doesn't have the eye patch on. Our glass says eye patches are usually good for night vision, keeping one eye accustomed to the dark. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what my suspicions were. But it looks sleek. It really looks sleek, and I hope her character survives. I really do. But maybe sometimes they gotta up the stakes there. July 12th, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Great trailer. Did you guys go out and check it out? If you saw my reaction for it, yeah, we already looked at some of the comments, but I'm going to refresh it and take a look to see if the trailer comments are updated, because I want to see like the consensus of what people are talking about here. What is the opposite of the Fast and Furious franchise? A Mission Impossible franchise. Actually gets better after every movie. Yeah. So somebody's throwing a little bit of shade there to Fast and Furious. I said that before too, right? There have been lots of Bonds, but there's only one Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise. Yeah. This is a franchise that's going to be, when Tom Cruise is done with this, with Dead Reckoning Part 2, they're not going to reboot it right away with a new cast. This one's going to have to sit on the shelf for a while before Timothée Chalamet decides that he wants to be the new Ethan Hunt. Anyway, incredible actor, and and incredible that he's carried this franchise for all these years. Looking forward to this movie. Yeah. As you can see here, the consensus seems to be this action looks so amazing and breathtaking. Yeah, it looks sleek. And I can't wait to see it on the big screen. You know, those big action sequences, that's what Tom really champions, is making that theatrical experience one to remember, right? So yeah, I've been a huge 007 movie fan all my life. The location, story, and action, and a ton of style. I now think that the Mission Impossible franchise has surpassed it. Wow, dude. That's quite the boast. That's quite the declaration. Powerful declarations about the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 trailer number 2. I hope you guys had a chance to go out and see it and saw my initial reaction too. I got up at like 9 o'clock, saw that it was trending, got my studio all set up and got in front of the camera for you guys. And I pulled off actually both of those trailers right there for you guys. And I dug it. Speaking about the other trailer, Five Nights at Freddy's also dropped. Actually, this one dropped kind of like late last night, right? And we got a new poster out there based on the video game Five Nights at Freddy's. These animatronics are going to be done by Jim Henson Studios, so you know the animatronics are going to be cool. Now, I'm somebody who's never played the game, so I'm going in it from that perspective. But I like what I saw in the teaser. The teaser was a little bit short. And it's basically this guy has to go and work there cleaning things up at night, right? And then he gets locked in there with these animatronics that come alive. And I liked what I saw from the trailer. Let's just pull up that trailer and start going through it. It starts off with kind of like a commercial. Come to Five Nights at Freddy's. Guys, if I accidentally call it Friday Nights at Freddy's, I apologize. But it's got some TV-esque footage of some of the robots that'll come to life. And then Josh Hutcherson is going to be our main character. We'll see it from his perspective. He comes in to clean up the place. So it's the same setup as that movie with Nicolas Cage, Willy's Wonderland, where he's like coming in to clean late at night. And of course, then the animatronics come to life and try to kill him, right? Freddy Fazbear. Yeah. Very creepy design. And I like what I saw from this. It's just a quick teaser, like under a minute. Like around the 50-minute mark. You just get the premise that there's Matthew Lillard. It looks like he's going to be the manager of Freddy Fazbear's that hires the guy Hutcherson to come in and do the cleaning and stuff. So I can't wait to see what it looks like. The overall impression for me is that it looks like it's going to be... It's got the potential to be there, right? Five Nights at Freddy's. Let me just go over to the cast here and pull that up at the on the IMDb, and we will take a look at the IMDb here. Whoops. There we go. A troubled security guard begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza while spending his first night on the job. He realizes the night shift at Freddy's won't be as easy as easy to make it through. So yeah, he gets attacked by them, and it's Josh Hutcherson. So Mary Stuart Masterson is also in this. No other names jump off the page at me here, other than Matthew Lillard from the Scream movies. So I'm guessing that some of these people will be fodder. Like the movie will open up with the previous cleaner getting dispatched, right? Showing us the menace of what these animatronics are going to be. I never played the game, so as I said, I don't know exactly how it unfolds, but he's there working in the night shift. What else? And they come alive to kill him. Like, yeah. I just hope it goes with that creepy angle, right? I hope it does. Let's go over to the comments section and see what people are saying about this. I just don't get why they gave them red eyes. The human-like normal eyes is what gave the animatronics this uncanny, disturbing feel to them. The models overall look great, though. Yeah. The animatronics look fantastic, but the red eyes are super weird. Yeah, that's just... I said it in my normal reaction that's just a studio executive saying, well, it can't be just white eyes because they're evil. And evil people or evil demons have red eyes. And we got to capitalize on that. And that's probably all it is. I don't pay too much into that. I hope this movie doesn't disappoint. Some say the expectations are high, but I'm scared they will make another cheap remake just because they have a good source material. What? That's getting a little bit ahead of the horse, isn't it? For real. What? My expectations is low going into this movie, but I'll give it a chance, says the Joker. I'm beyond excited for this. Everything looks so stunning, especially the animatronics. Oh God, why do you gotta yell? But one nitpick is the eye. They look creepy to an extent, but I wish they went with what they did in game, Pitch Black, with the red dots. Okay, so some people are just pointing out that there are some game discrepancies that could factor in. I think it may be, I still, like it's red here. Now, let me see if I can brighten that up a little bit. Can I? No, I can't. That's as bright as I can. But I think that may be just reflecting. That might be a reflection. It's possible. We'll have to see. I'm holding out hopes here that Five Nights at Freddy's, it's going to be okay. We're going to be okay with this one. But those are the trailers that dropped. What do you guys think about them? Let me know in the comments, and we will talk about it. Okay, let's take some live comments. Arglass Viking says, I honestly thought Minecraft and Fortnite would have been released before Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'll give it a watch. Yeah, me too. Okay, I guess I gotta take down the chat here. Now, just straighten out my neckline here, because we're going to be doing this review for the book club next chapter. James, that's an old lady movie. Why did you go see that? Because I took my mother. That's why I went to see it. Okay, just refreshing the pages to make sure that everything looks kosher. And here we go. The book club, the next chapter is in theaters, and I went out to see it. My initial impressions were that it was actually pretty charming, actually. A fairly fun movie to go out and see it with a bunch of people, because my theater, they were funny. This cast was fairly funny. I never saw the first one, and I had no problems following along with what was happening in this movie. Actually, to tell you the truth, it kind of inspired me to want to go back and watch the first one, because I do like the chemistry with these four women. They've got really good chemistry. So what's this movie about? The synopsis reads, it follows the new journey of four best friends as they take their book club to Italy for the fun girls trip they've never had. Well, it doesn't say it there, but one of them is also engaged to be married. So it's kind of like a bachelorette party as well, sort of. So, as I said, the chemistry is really good between Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen. Let's play a quick game. Out of those four, who do you think is the oldest? Do you think it's Candice Bergen? Maybe Diane Keaton? It's Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda is the oldest. She's like 85. And Mary Steenburgen is the youngest. She's only 70. So there's a big age gap there. But they have lots of fun poking at the ageism. And it's not the age jokes that make you go, oh, please, don't joke around about being old again. But they do it in such a way that's kind of like, that's kind of fun. And surprisingly, somebody shows up in this that I never thought I would ever see again, but Captain Panaka from Star Wars Episode 1 appears in this as somebody who tries to romance one of them. Scott Andy Garcia, Don Johnson, and Craig T. Nelson also in this. Giancarlo Giannini is the police chief in this. Of course, it's in Italy, so you gotta hire him. He was in Casino Royale. He was the police chief in that. And he was also Patsy in Hannibal. Hugh Quarshie, yeah. I had to look it up in the middle of the movie because I was like, I recognize that dude. That's Captain Panaka from Episode 1. Yeah, there he is right there. And he tries to romance one of them. So, yeah, even he was having fun. They just have fun. And I kind of classified this movie as, you know, charming, fun little romp that's harmless. And of course, the book club, it's not going to be something where you come out of this and it's going to be like a life-changing experience where it's going to be like, yeah, you got to check this out. But these four have tremendous chemistry and it pays off. Lots of people in my theater were laughing all at the same time. Like, that's a fun theatrical experience, right? When you're in the auditorium and everybody around you is laughing at the same jokes and stuff, that's when you know it lands. And the book club, the next chapter, lands. So let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying about it. 46% by critics, 86 by the audience, and I got to side more with the audience. Now, I'm not going to say that it's an 8.6, but there's a little bit of a disparity there, right? It's going to be kind of like what I'm hoping that we're going to see for Fast and the Furious that opens up this week, where it's going to be like a lower critic score, but the people that come out of this are going to be kind of like, yeah, this was fun. I don't care what the critics say, and you shouldn't either, because as I said, I never even saw the first one. This one, these seemed to be a self-contained story enough that you had no problem following along with what was going on, and you know right up off the bat that these four, they work well together. So let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews and see what people say before I weigh in with my final verdict. Let's take a good one first from Tribune News Service, and maybe what the heck is that word? Treacly and unrealistic. But book club, the next chapter, has heart and soul, and it's as sweet and quaffable as an aperol spritz on a hot day. What the heck? Why are you using words that I don't even know what the heck? Treacly? Treacly. Sorry, guys. We take a small digression here to figure out what treacly means. Resembling treacle. Oh, thanks. Thank you for the definition. Excessively sentimental. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I hate when you go to like the definitions and they it's just stupid like that. But okay, let's take a look at a bad one here from The Observer. If anything, the writing in this chocolate box travel log of a sequel is even lazier than the first film, which much crackling innuendo and sparkly narcissism. No, I thought it was charming. I thought the banter in between them was okay, and it was fun. A hokey sequel, a page not to turn. Nah, and what I mean by harmless here too is that you shouldn't be going in it with like that scrutiny of, okay, does it follow a certain structure? Do they set up plot lines that don't pay off? Do they, you shouldn't be going into it like that. Just enjoy it for what it is, kind of thing. And if you can do that, then you're going to find lots of enjoyment with the book club, the next chapter. And I hope people go out and see it, because it's going to be surrounded by Fast and Furious and Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's not the same crowds. And I hope people go out to see it, because I enjoyed it. It's not quite an 8.6 out of 10 for me, but I would give it a solid 7 out of 10 for the book club, the next chapter. What did you guys go and see it this weekend? Not many people did, because it came in like the 4th spot, right? But it's going to have some staying power, and I hope people hang in there, and I hope good word of mouth, like from me and other reviewers and other people that go and see it, would be kind of like, yeah, I had fun with it. 7 out of 10 for the book club, the next chapter. If you guys see it, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. All right, let's take some live comments and see what people are saying about this in the live chats. Mary Steenburgen got class, beauty, and the assurance she is always going to deliver a top-notch performance. Yeah, Mary Steenburgen had a couple good scenes in this where she, like, internally has like a conflict with there. But yeah, stunning. Watch party for book club. That's possible. It is on Netflix. And I was going to watch it last night, but when I came back, it was like after 9 o'clock, and I was whipped. But I do want to watch it, so it's a possibility. We could add it to the queue for watch party, watch along for sure. I just don't know how crass it is. I don't think it's that crass, but we'll see. Next. Elle Fanning was supposed to be in The Little Mermaid, or what? What is this headline? Elle Fanning reveals details about her unmade live-action Little Mermaid movie. Okay, so they were going to make a live-action Little Mermaid before, and it was going to be with Elle Fanning. Well, she was in the Maleficent movies. She is a good actress. Could she have been Ariel? Do you guys see her with red hair? Fascinating. Back in 2014, huh? They were going to make a Little Mermaid. Huh. So it was going to be from Joe Wright. Fanning recalled making the unmade version that she also was going to star in. Let's see. Joe Wright and I were supposed to do The Little Mermaid. It was with the working title, She Turns into Foam. Very dark, very musical, and very theatrical like he does. I won the part. Okay. So very dark, very musical. So it's going to be a little bit more of a realistic take. He said, now I want you to sing all the lines. And I was like, okay. And so I did. And then he gave it to me in the room. What? So, and then he gave you hopefully the role in the room. That's very questionable phrasing right there, Elle. I would be careful with that kind of a phrasing. But she finishes her quote by saying, but that was very exciting because it was like, we're going to do it. And then it just didn't work out. I'm guessing it just lost funding or something. It was going to do some very production style like Avatar with doing actual underwater stuff. I think the budget was going to be too astronomical because it was the first time they were going to film underwater. It's not the first time people have filmed underwater. You obviously haven't seen The Abyss or The Deep. He has had this whole plan of how it was going to be. It was going to be like Pan and with Cara Delevingne and how that mermaid worked. Okay, so they were actually going to film underwater. Like the newer one, it's just her on wires floating around and stuff. They didn't actually go into the water tanks and stuff to film it because she's got to be able to talk and sing, right, to get those shots. But it made me curious to see, well, what was that Pan reference of Cara Delevingne and her mermaid? And I had to look it up. So there it is. So they did want to actually have real water interacting with the flow of the hair and stuff for Elle Fanning's Little Mermaid. And that, surprisingly, much more darker, does sound interesting to me. What do you guys think? Would you want to see that version? Because the new one, I'm still hyped to see this one. I still want to see it, but I'm just kind of like the comparisons between the styles. I'm just trying to pull up a picture of them underwater here, and I'm going to contrast it with what see that's just her sitting on a rock with the special lighting to make it sort of look like it's underwater. And they were going to do the version more like this, where it's blurry a little bit because she is really underwater. And let's see if I can pull up that as a GIF. Whoops, I wanted that. There we go. So kind of like that. That would have been cool, man. I would have been on board for that. What do you guys think about this? It's obviously not going to happen anymore, but the headline jumped out at me, and I thought we should take a look at that. Elle Fanning was once upon a time going to be The Little Mermaid. That's coming out now, too, because The Little Mermaid comes out next week. Not this week, but the next week. We're going to get that. It's just something that caught my eye. All right, what's next for movie news or entertainment news? Loki 2 and Echo series premiere dates. Marvel Studios release dates for Loki season 2 and Echo. I guess I need to finish watching the first season of Loki then, right? And I think guys, I used to say that and go, whew, I hope nobody gets on me for saying that. But I'm pretty much like the majority of lots of other people that just, unless you're like a real hardcore fan, then you just can't keep up with all of these series. They've oversaturated the market, and I just got burnt out. I tapped out after episode 4. with another fake death. But I'll watch it eventually and before the new season comes out for Loki season 2. So what do we got here for a release date? Yeah, then apparently Kang is going to be back in that one, so I don't know how that's going to possibly pan out. Guys, of course this page gets frozen. October 6th is when Loki season 2 comes out. October 6th for Loki season 2, and then that Echo series, the spin-off of Hawkeye, right? November 29th. And then and that, guys, I have no idea why they greenlit that. I seriously don't. Again, it was just that mandate of under the old regime. Put out as much content as possible. We got to get people watching. We got to build up Disney Plus. We got to do this. And it's like that shouldn't be your priority. Your priority should be to tell good stories. And you could tell that the writing quality just isn't there. But we got our release dates for Loki season 2 and Echo. Loki October 6th and Echo November 29th. So there you go. Right? Okay. Venom 3 casting news. Chiwetel Ejiofor cast alongside Juno Temple and Tom Hardy for Venom 3. Well, this is fascinating because Chiwetel Ejiofor is already in the MCU as Modo, right? Or whatever his name is. Is he going to be playing the same character? We know that there's different universes, and we know that Tom Hardy's Venom does take place in an alternate universe because he went back to his universe at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, right? So is he going to be playing a variation on him? I don't know. This article just breaks the news that Chiwetel Ejiofor is going to be part of Venom 3. It goes on to speculate, will he play Baron Mordo? I don't know. Or will he be playing another character entirely? For now, we can only wait and find out. So it's just casting news. It's got Juno Temple in there as well. I'm a big fan of Juno Temple. Going over to the IMDb, Venom 3. Hopefully that'll end that trilogy of Tom Hardy's Venom, because we need Venom to properly face off with Spider-Man. We do. It's been clear since the second one that this version of Venom is never going to have any interactions with Spider-Man other than that quick little post-credit scene where he learns about him and leaves a little bit of himself in the Tom Holland universe. So we know that the Tom Hardy version is not going to fight Spider-Man at any point. But Chiwetel Ejiofor is top-tier talent. So is Juno Temple, actually. Joining this cast, starting to fill out a little bit, guys. We're going to get some news on this. Who do you think he's playing? Do you think that he's going to be playing a different, a variant version of Baron Mordo? Yeah. You think he's going to be playing a variant? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hourglass says, I got swept up with all the Marvel series. They tend to bookend the action and leave a sparse exposition in the center. Quite formulaic, but I didn't mind the series like Hawkeye, Loki, or Moon Knight. Oh, yeah, I watched Moon Knight, and we did full watch-alongs here, and I think you were here for that, Hourglass. I liked that series, but a lot of that was because of Oscar Isaac and his ability to act, right? Loki, I really like that first scene, or the first episode where it's kind of like, you killed that person. Did you enjoy killing? And I liked that they were starting to dig into his character, right? But then it got into that fake out deaths, and I was kind of like, again with Loki faking his death again. Bifer says my dream cast for Little Mermaid was Anna Kendrick. Ooh, that would have been awesome, because we know that Anna Kendrick can sing too. But I'm still like Halle Bailey is going to be okay. She's going to be okay for this. Penguin series gets, please say what's happened there. Colin Farrell Batman spinoff, The Penguin suspended due to the writer's strike. That kind of bums me out because this is something that was already starting production like really early this year. And when they start production like that, then you know that the scripts are all done for the season. And it was going to be a quick, short season, right? It was only going to be like 6 episodes and they had to halt it um, because I'm guessing that even though that you're shooting stuff, apparently due to the contractual obligations, you're not even allowed to like um, embellish. You're not allowed to just ad lib parts, dialogue, because that would be considered writing, and that's not kosher. So if you got a script, you got to follow the script exactly. You can't alter anything because that would constitute writing, and that would go against the writer strike. So maybe this is a good thing because if you're putting it on pause so that we can get the writers back, and then we can get that tool of ad libbing working with an actor in scenes and flushing it out. Because sometimes you write it down on the page, you get on set, and you say the line, like what happened in Empire Strikes Back, where Han Solo was supposed to say "I love you," and he said it, but it didn't have any feeling to it, right? It didn't work out. So they worked with it for a long while, and eventually he just said, "I know," and then you can't do that in today's climate with the strike going on. So hopefully they'll be able to work around that and get some more cohesion with that. But I'm excited for this series, man, because Colin Farrell, we know that he's top tier talent, and he was a standout for a lot of people in the first Batman movie, and an eye opener to like the criminal underworld of that version of Gotham with Colin Farrell. I'm looking forward to it, man. But we're on hiatus. We are officially halted, and when the writer strike's done, that's when we are going to see this. The Penguin is set to release sometime on HBO, or sorry, it's now called Max, sometime in 2024. So lots of things will get halted. Like we know that Stranger Things is halted. It's just one of those casualties, one of the fallouts of what happens. We know that for sure. It's a bummer. Once I get a note as to when that's going to be back on track, I'll let you know for sure. Here on Mirror Domains. Okay, let's go on to some hit or miss headlines. This is where if it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll just move on. Keeping on with the superhero theme, Captain America New World Order set images reveal new suit. Wow. Guys, this broke like a couple of days ago, and I saw the images. It's not really that much to talk about. We know that Anthony Mackie, Falcon, is taking over the mantle of Captain America, but the set images are really far away. He's wearing a different costume here. It's very Captain America-esque, and I'm glad because this one that showed up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, I know that one was going to be like a throwback to like the comic book accurate kind of costume, but I found that it was too bulky. The shoulders were too big, and I don't like how it comes up on the sides here. So the new costume, okay. There's the other guy. I think this is going to be one of the bad guys, right? WWE star Seth Rollins. I think he's going to be like the muscle of the bad guy. There's a video out there too. You can find that. That's kind of a miss for me. I don't feel like we need to talk too much about that. There's not much there. What's next? Deadline is reporting that Selena Gomez is joining the Food Network. Cool, man. Selena Gomez joins Food Network with 2 upcoming series. Wow, she's got a lot on her plate. Oh, James, that was awful. Yes, it was. But she's a talented individual for sure. She sings, she acts, she cooks. She's fought mental health problems. She's fought physical health problems, and she's endured. So I definitely look up to her work ethic, and as a person for sure, she's awesome. So she's going to have 2 new programs. That's a hit for me because I do like Selena Gomez. She's a great singer too. She is. So this the first one is going to be a celebration focused series just in time for holidays. So looks like it's going to be like a holiday themed show, and the second one will have her meeting up with some of the best chefs in the country in a quest to cook the most popular dishes when she visits their kitchen. Okay, well that's kind of cool too. So she'll go to like, well, I don't think that she'll go to Gordon Ramsay, but that would be kind of cool. But probably other famous Food Network chefs that have their own shows. Hey, anything with Selena Gomez, that's cool in my books. Next, CNN. Caitlin Collins to lead a 9 p.m. show during the prime time. This is cool for me, not so much for you guys. I have high respects for Caitlin Collins as a reporter, as a journalist, and as a TV anchor. So for me, her taking over the 9 p.m., she's paid her dues. She should have her chance at the big show. Why not? She's somebody who does her homework, and she's somebody who doesn't get unfazed, because she did. If you saw that interview that she did with that dude, Donald Rump, then yeah, you saw how things went down with that and how she was just treated. By the way, you guys, you never treat a beautiful woman like the way that Trump did. Yeah. Don't let me catch you doing that. Anyway, Caitlin Collins, that's a thumbs up in my book. That's a hit for me. It won't be for most people, but it is for me. Okay. Guys, I think that's all I got for today in the can. I thought that we would just round the show up by taking a look at the old Twitterverse and see what's trending out there. See if I missed anything. If there's anything in there that you guys wanted me to talk about, let me know. And let's just finish out the day, because I hear that they've started some lawn mowing actions out there in the courtyard, so could get loud. Oh yeah, Twisters casting news. We got an update on the Twisters casting. We got a new addition to Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell. Who was it? David Cornsweat's going to be in it? The new Superman? No. I don't. I think I do think that Cornsweat's going to be the new Superman. Who was it that I saw that was trending that got added to the cast? Wasn't any of those names. David Cornsweat. Seriously though, he's joining Twisters. That's fine in my book. Yeah, guys. I see him as. I think he's going to be our Superman. And I got no problem with it. Yeah. That is him, right? One attorney was also joined the cast. Katie O'Brien. Okay, we just saw her in Mandalorian, right? She's one of the Imperial officers that defected. She was also in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So that cast is really rounding out. That's got to go into production pretty soon. Twisters, Twister 2. The first trailer for Gareth Edwards, the creator. Gareth Edwards had a new... We haven't heard about him since Rogue One. The creator, starring John David Washington and Gemma Chan. The film debuts September 29th. We may have to watch this trailer. The creator. I do like Gareth Edwards. He is a good... Like, I know that people say that he ruined Rogue One and it had to be saved by Tony Gilroy, but if you watch Monsters, it was cool. I'm getting like shades of like Blade Runner kind of thing with this. What the heck is this about? Oh, it's just with music. Okay. Kind of sci-fi, it looks like, maybe. Creators. Oh no, we're dealing with AI. Fascinating. Wow. Wow, that looks like shades of production art from George Lucas's Episode 7. Because George Lucas had some conceptual art, done. And that vaguely looks something like what Luke's Jedi Temple was supposed to be like under his version. But anyway, the creator. Okay, so maybe it's about some guy who creates artificial intelligence. It's going to be gritty, man. This looks gritty. John David Washington. I liked him in Tenet. He's a good, talented actor. Futuristic, yeah. Have to check out this trailer for The Creator. Comes out this year, September 29th. Fascinating. What's next? World on Fire, Season 2. Nicolas Cage joins Dead by Daylight as a playable character. Okay. Food Network has ordered new series with Selena Gomez. So yeah, we just talked about that. Some people like Khan. New trailer for Mission Impossible. Yeah, we watched that. David McCormack has joined Twisters. We know that. Okay, Kate Blanchett and Warwick Thornton on the set of New Boy, where she plays that nun, right? Spiritual struggle. Early projections on who's leaving Survivor tonight. Asked by Byford to Hobbit there in the live chat. Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be somebody from the Tika tribe. Sorry guys, if you don't watch Survivor, it's got to be one of the purple. Carson seems to be pulling the strings, but you got to get rid of Carolyn because she's in a position where people will give her the $1 million if she makes it to the end. And I think that Carson's smart enough to work with Jam Jam to blindside her. I got to start watching the Ponderosas for Survivor to see some of the behind the scenes drama because it gives you a little bit more information. First look at Josh Hutcherson in Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, we know that. BAFTA Awards. Oh, God, I like her. That's I follow her on Instagram. What the heck is her name? Is that not her? No, that's not her. That's Haley Bennett. Sorry, to lead rom-com Night and Day. Who was I thinking of? The girl from Snowpiercer, blonde hair. She was in Annabelle Creation. Heir to the Empire is trending. Yeah, we can talk about that. Heir to the Empire is apparently the name of the Dave Filoni movie. Because you know that he's doing a spin-off, or he's doing a Star Wars movie that is going to like wrap up the culmination of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka and stuff like that. So apparently, yeah, that news broke as well. Dave Filoni, Heir to the Empire. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit more tomorrow. No, it's obviously not going to follow the books because, well, I think it could follow the books. It has a chance to. You know why? It doesn't even have to acknowledge the events of what happened in the sequel trilogy, because this movie will happen before Force Awakens. You'd have a de-aged Luke in it. It's possible. If they pull off accurate representations of that, like they'd have to change some things. Like you don't have to go into the Jorah Sabath storyline of like the crazy Jedi that got cloned, right? We don't have to go into that storyline, but we can go into some other stuff with Thrawn for sure. Yeah, Heir to the Empire is coming with Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy. We saw was actually the prototype clone of. Oh, wow. Now that would be smart for Star Wars to do. Yes. That's how you fix the sequel trilogy. You do the crazy clone. And you say that the clone, the Luke Skywalker we saw in The Last Jedi was the clone one. The one that went mad. That makes sense. That would fix the Star Wars universe. And the Luke Skywalker that we see in Mandalorian is our Luke Skywalker, the big hero Jedi Knight. That's what you do, man. That's how you fix Star Wars. Dave Filoni, awesome. Oh, man, I got to chop that out and put it up as a short. That gets me excited. Because then you just create that trilogy, and you don't even have to pay attention to what episodes 7, 8, and 9 were. You don't. Wow. That's it. Our Glass Viking says the new trilogy is far enough into the Star Wars future to be a distant memory, if you get me. Yeah. They can still do it. They can still do it. They can still fix everything. Oh my God. Yes. Oh God, yes. No. Okay, why is Mortal Kombat trending? It's time. It's almost Mortal Kombat. Tomorrow is a new dream. Mortal Kombat. What? The third Mortal Kombat teaser is dropping tomorrow for MK. Oh, for Mortal Kombat 12, the video game. I was thinking about for what the heck is that? Is that Ermac versus a Big Mac? Oh, mercy. Yeah, that's cheeky, isn't it? Oh, man. But that Star Wars headline, that got me. Yeah, we'll have to do a little bit more of that tomorrow. Wow. Yeah, what the heck is her name? Why? Annalise Basso. That's what I was thinking of. Whoops. It's not the one I was looking for. It's not the one I was looking for, guys. I want her official one. I'll show you what I mean, that she sort of looks similar. But maybe it's because she's a ginger. I'm not going to be audacious enough to say that all redheads look the same. But you can just see her face profile looks very similar to her, right? Haley Bennett. Annalise, I hope she gets more work too. She is a good actress. It really looks like her. They look the same, like they could be sisters. Anyway, what else? Anne Hathaway in Venice. New poster for Friday Night at Freddy's. Yeah, we saw that. Only Murders in the Building with Selena Gomez. Officially premieres August 8th on Hulu. Now, that's on Disney Plus as well. So that'll get transferred when Hulu gets absorbed by Disney Plus, right? All right. True Tell Edgy 4 in Venom. Yeah, we know that that's happening. Okay. Guys, that's it pretty much for me. Artglass says I'd go for more slapstick Mortal Kombat and Big Mac. I'm due for a feed. Yeah, I'm due a feed for sure. God, I haven't had a Big Mac in years. God, if I go out to eat, I usually just go to Subway or Taco Bell. Yes, those are my two picks. I'll have a burrito or a taco. That's what I prefer. Okay. Or if I do go to McDonald's, it's usually early in the morning when I'm about to hit the road, and I'll have like a bacon and egg McMuffin kind of thing. I think that's the last thing I had at McDonald's. All right, guys, I'm going to try to duplicate my excitement there and do a short for the Heir to the Empire. But that's it for me today, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. You're watching Mirror Domains. We're having lots of fun here on the channel this week. Tomorrow morning, we'll be watching Survivor, episode 12. See who gets voted out. Come join us for the full live watch along here on Mirror Domains.